For Canadian consumers weary of seemingly endless rising prices, tariffs are only going to make things worse. Everything from food to housing to appliances is expected to get more expensive. And now, a trade war with the U.S. is causing a lot of uncertainty for people and their budgets. So, when it comes to your personal finances, where are you likely going to feel it the most?
The first thing we're going to see get more expensive is groceries.
The stuff that's perishable, the stuff that has a very long supply chain that needs to be continuously fed is where we're going to see it surface first.
Let's start there. Farmers in Canada aren't growing much fruit and vegetables this time of year. Oranges, berries, cucumbers, all those kinds of items get imported daily, but they all just got tariffed, meaning they're likely to get more expensive quickly. And I don't need to tell you this, but Canadians already spend a lot at the grocery store. The average family of 4 in Canada spend about $16,000 on groceries in 2024.
We can expect that $16,000 to balloon. And so we're again going to have to look at our household budget and say, what can we afford and what do we have to let go for this week or this month?
Those are hard decisions, and they get really important when it comes to those big ticket items. Things like cars, electronics, and appliances coming from the U.S. are now all subject to tariffs. And with so much uncertainty, analysts say you might be better off thinking twice before making a purchase.
If you have a fridge that you know is on the fritz and you've already been talking about replacing it, this may be a time to really get that fridge replaced quickly, because those prices, those appliances and cars and those big ticket items, those are expected to go up in cost.
And if we go even bigger, like housing, we're also going to see increases. According to analysts, builders have been seeing costs for materials rise for weeks leading up to the promised steel and aluminum tariffs.
And that's going to make housing more expensive. That's going to make less homes available for families, whether they've been on the market trying to buy a home for a while, or new Canadians. And that's not good news.
Because those costs filter down. We know the price of food impacts the price we pay at restaurants. The cost of building materials impacts the cost of a new home. And analysts we spoke to say the longer this goes on, even the items that aren't tariffed are likely going to get more expensive, making it hard, even impossible, for Canadians to get around those extra costs. Now, there are a few reasons for that. One is a lack of options when it comes to getting those products elsewhere.
Even if there were substitutes, they are going to lead to higher prices. So yeah, those types of things are going to hit us and hit us fast.
Canada could try and diversify where it gets its supply, but the further you go to get some products, say to Central America or Asia, the more it's going to cost in shipping, and those costs trickle down to the consumer. Now, you could buy Canadian when it's possible, or try and stick with supply chains already in existence. Let's say you do really need that dishwasher. You could buy a German model instead of American. But as prices rise for some products, analysts say, businesses may see an opportunity to raise their prices as well.
Once those costs get passed on, does it incentivize anybody with competing products to increase their prices? It is possible that in a worst case scenario, yeah, we could see some pretty vicious inflation. Maybe not as high as 2022, but certainly not in the Bank of Canada's 1% to 3% range.
Part of the reason we're seeing costs climb so much is the lower Canadian dollar, which has been hovering at or below 70 cents American, and it's expected to get even lower.
Straight up, a weak Canadian dollar makes imports more expensive. So right there, you have an additional cost of living problem to deal with.
It's also going to make traveling to the U.S. more expensive. That $200 a night hotel is almost $300 Canadian right now, which is why staying in the country for your holidays this summer might ease a little pressure.
It may be a good idea to travel in Canada, or travel somewhere in our own province, or in near your own city, because you're paying in Canadian dollars. You don't have that currency shock when you get that exchange rate. Keeps the money also in the local economy.
Ultimately, how expensive this could get for you really depends on how long it lasts. Analysts say if these tariffs are in place for more than 3 or 4 months, that could put this country into a recession.
The tariffs could wreck the Canadian economy, leading to higher unemployment, a recession.
Meaning businesses either have to lay people off or charge more. So going to the movies, going out to drinks, even getting your nails done, the cost of all that too could rise.
And the other one is when it comes to investments, a lot has been made about, what should I do with my investments? Usually we are very bad at timing the market. It's better just to stay in the market and keep your long-term financial goals in sight.
So in the face of so much uncertainty, one of the best precautions is to not make any sudden moves. Keep your investments, save where you can, use what you've got.
Unfortunately, it's the same messaging for the last 5 years. Stay out of debt, don't take on unnecessary loans, don't make big ticket purchases that you don't need to, and go back to that old-fashioned advice of just making sure that everything you're bringing home you're consuming.